Hey everyone, it's Jeannie here, and I'm so glad today to be joined by the CEO of NutraMedix, Tim Eaton. Thank you, Tim, for joining me. I'm excited to expose our audience to the amazing products that you have. But before we get there, and before we talk about NutraMedix, tell us how you even got into what you're doing now.
Okay, well, thank you, Jeannie, for having me on your program today. It really goes back to when I was a kid, and my uncle took me for a plane ride when I was 10, and I said, I want to be a pilot. I decided when I was 10, I'm going to fly airplanes. My original desire, or as the years went by, I'm going to fly for the airlines, be a commercial airline pilot. Yeah. And God had other plans for me, and I began working towards becoming a missionary pilot. Wow. And started flying for a missionary group in the Caribbean. We went back and forth to Haiti many times, delivering cargo and people back and forth between the U.S. and Haiti. But then I ended up going off to Peru as a missionary pilot in 1986. So that was the beginning of my 5 years in Peru. Mm-hmm. And it was just an incredible time for me. I felt like I was the luckiest guy in the world. I'm flying around the jungle in float planes and hanging out with the tribal groups, and I said, wow, I get to use the gifts and talents that God has given me to serve these people, to serve the missionaries, serve Jesus by serving other people. And it was fantastic. During those years, there was a lot of terrorism in Peru. The Shining Path, the MRTA, two big terrorist groups that were really causing a lot of havoc in Peru. So it was a difficult, strange time, but I didn't really notice it. As a single guy, didn't have wife and kids, and I was just like, this is great. So that was the beginning of my time in Peru. And while I was there, I spent a lot of time in villages with the tribal groups. There's over 120 different tribes in Peru, all different languages, and just spread out throughout the jungle up into the Andes Mountains. And I started learning about some of the medicinal plants that they were using in their own words to treat all kinds of different ailments, so to speak. So I also saw a lot of poverty, a lot of people living in really difficult conditions, especially in Lima when I'd go back and forth from the jungle to Lima, either to renew my pilot's license or to have a pilot's medical or to buy supplies or whatever. So God really, struck my heart while I was there. But it was just, part of living in Peru.
Yeah. But it's the part of the culture and the lifestyle.
It's part of the culture. Beautiful people, very adventurous. Was just back down there a few weeks ago and going to some of the places where we harvest plants for some of our products. But I met my future wife on a blind date. My wife's from Peru. Amazing. So I really look back and I see God. I believe God sent me to Peru to open my eyes about the extreme needs of people and in every way, not just spiritual but physical, emotional. I learned about medicinal plants, and God introduced me to my wife. So three really big things happened going to Peru, and then. With all the terrorism, a lot of the missionaries had left Peru. So my wife and I got married up in the U.S. because no one was going to go to Peru from the U.S. in our family because of all the terrorism. Yeah. So we got married up here in the U.S. in Florida, and we prayed and decided, let's not go back. Let's start a business and send 50% of the profits back down to Peru to support a couple of different ministries that we become passionate about. One was helping to train and support national pastors the tribal in their own, working with their own tribes. I speak fluent Spanish. Of course, my wife does, but I'll never be able to communicate the gospel as a Peruvian in the jungle will be able to communicate to another Peruvian in the jungle.
Exactly. Yes.
And even my wife, she's from Lima. She's a city girl. She does, that's not even her culture. So even though she's Peruvian, so we decided let's start a business, and let's give at least 50% of the profits, and we'll work with street kids in Lima, help to support them and rescue as many as we could, and work with the existing orphanage, and then help the as I mentioned, the training and supporting of national pastors in Peru. So we came up with a purpose, or God gave us a purpose, I should say. But then we go, okay, what are we going to do? We thought about, okay, how about a Peruvian restaurant, or how about some kind of aviation service, being a pilot. We thought about interpreting and translation business, because we both can do that. But we eventually landed on medicinal plants.
Yeah, that's
and that's
amazing.
how NutraMedix was birthed 30 years ago this year. So that's where it started.
So let's talk about that, because NutraMedix, all the medicinal things, I love that it's you learned this and discovered it. So I'm Puerto Rican. My husband's Caribbean as well. He's from the island Grenada. And usually when people are from the islands and they use the gods, the things that God gives us, and not so much, the things that we man make, they live longer. And there's just natural remedies, right? You go back home to somebody's house and they're like, you got a cough, I got a natural remedy for that. So I love that what you guys have done, and now you offering it for us all to kind of help with some of the things that we need help with. There's so many ailments in this, especially here in this country. Talk about that, just using this, what you do with NutraMedix. I know you're also very giving, and a lot of the profit that you make, half of the profit that you make, you continue this giving that you talked about early. But let's talk about the actual medicine now, and the stuff that people can check you guys out and get help with.
You can go on our website, NutraMedix.com, NutraMedix.com. But we currently sell about 53 products, and we sell a lot of wellness products that many people are taking these days: vitamin D, vitamin K, vitamin C, zinc, quercetin, magnesium, etc. But we really specialize in liquid extracts or tinctures of many of the very rare type of plants in Peru that we use, and we primarily sell to healthcare professionals, medical doctors, naturopathic doctors, osteopaths, chiropractors, nurses, PAs, clinics. But most of the individuals, you can buy all of our products online. You don't have to get a doctor's a script to buy our products. But the many of the consumers that buy from us, they hear about our products from doctors. So. But we have products that, and of course we have to use very FDA-friendly language when we talk about our products, but we have many products that are used to support inflammatory response, for joint health. Well,
I'm already there. I'm like, hold on, let me get some stuff right now.
For brain health. A lot of people suffer from or have brain fog, for instance. That's usually toxins up there. So we have one product that really helps with the brain fog, and very, very quickly. We have 13 detox products, and each of these products detox different types of toxins from the body. We're exposed to all different types of toxins in the food, in the air, in the water. etc. So, but we have, once again, products for inflammatory that support healthy inflammatory response, joint health, brain health, detox support, immune support. So we have kits we sell that are a combination of different products, like for immune support or brain health, energy, mental focus, things like that. So, for instance, we have one product that's recently been launched called NutraMedix. And NutraMedix is a combination of two of our products that have been extensively studied. And it is helps support healthy glucose levels, metabolic support. But we've done a lot of research, or a university has done a lot of research on that product, and the research was published last year. Two very significant research papers were published in peer review medical journals last year. And in our space of dietary supplements, nutraceuticals, there's not a whole lot of research done on the exact products that the company sells. They may rely on ingredient research, but we like to have research done on the actual products we sell. So NutraMedix, the research has been published, as I mentioned, and you can find that just by searching NutraMedix.
Yeah.
So
I love this, Tim. My generation, we're all about clean. Like, we're like, what's clean out there? I had 3 miscarriages.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just the common story.
Yes, very common
from everyone that I know, unfortunately. And so we're now realizing things that we're putting into our body are also harming our body. So I'm very grateful that you are, offering things that are good for our bodies, and just really kind of I don't want to say old school way, because it's really not. It was always the way. The God way. Talk about that a little bit. You being in this and starting this business has been very, very successful. You see, though, firsthand how God has given us everything that we actually need.
Yeah, I believe that God has provided everything that we need, and He's created it for us. Yeah. Whether it's a mineral or an herb or an enzyme. There's an enzyme, the Venus flytrap. There's an enzyme that plant produces to digest a fly, and that is used in medicine. Wow. So, as an example, we have an enzyme in our product line called serapeptase, which is derived from silkworms. Wow. So God created the silkworm. But these incredible plants are it's just exciting to see. One of the things we hear most from clients is, wow, I got my life back. So some of these people are really, really, really hurting. There's a lot of folks that aren't feeling well these days.
Especially these days.
Yeah, it seems like more and more.
Right.
And so, plus the food we eat is very deficient in nutrients. Unless you grow your own food in volcanic soil, you're not going to get the nutrients you need. So most of us have to supplement our diet to get all the nutrients, the macro and micronutrients that we need to be healthy, to stay well. So it's exciting to see, how God has led us to even some of the plants in the Peruvian Amazon that even the tribal people don't use.
Wow. Well, Tim, I want to thank you just for taking time to chat with us. I'm excited to expose everyone to NutraMedix who doesn't know about it. What I love about what he does is he gives away even half of his just what he would to take from the consumer. He gives it back into the world, and I just thank you for your heart to do that. I think God will continue to bless you for blessing us.
It's God's company. Amen. So we're my wife and I and the team, great team. We're just asking God to help us be the best stewards we can be of His company.
Well, and he's
yeah.
honoring that as we
So
see.
yeah, it's exciting. And we've been doing it
Thank
30
you.
years. We're not tired yet.
Wow.
So we're excited.
That's how you know God's in it.
That's right.
Thank you
Yes.
so much, Tim.
Thank you.